Kevin, what are you doing?
Setting up figures, dude. It's for our set.
No. We have a set. This is so stupid. No,
Dude,
we're not
sweet.
screen junkies, Kevin. Just get... Kevin, get the figures out. Kevin, get the figures out. Start putting your figures away.
Hey, careful. That's diecast.
Get your action figures out of here.
So, what did we get to see this week, guys?
Well, Alec, we got to see the new Blade Runner movie.
Wow!
We've all been dying to see it.
Wow,
And we got to see it early, which was awesome.
really early, too. Like, they didn't even finish shooting yet. Like, some of the characters were CG.
There was stuff that's in the trailer that wasn't in the movie we saw.
So I want to talk about something important, because I think a lot of people will come into the movie experiencing the same thing we did, which is the trailer is so vastly different from the movie that we saw.
Oh, yeah, no, it's like almost completely different.
I want to preface, if you've seen any trailer for the movie, they're very misleading. You are not seeing the movie that you're seeing in any of the trailers. It's completely different.
They shot all of that footage for the trailer.
Yeah.
There are even actors cast in the movie that are not in the movie and only in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harrison Ford isn't even in the movie.
Yeah.
He's not in it at all.
I was really shocked because he's an Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, Ridley Scott, he's back.
It is a Ridley Scott film.
We just gotta say, like, listen, this is the year that Ridley Scott's like, I'm gonna remind everyone that I'm the king of sci-fi. Alien Covenant. It's gonna be the best alien movie that ever came out, and he did it.
Blade
Now
Runner.
he's like Blade Runner.
It's gonna
2099.
It's gonna be the best Blade Runner movie that anyone's ever seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that old Blade Runner movie look like a retarded idiot.
And spoilers, it does make Blade Runner look like a retarded idiot.
I think that it is just so much further ahead of the original Blade Runner. Like, I think that it looks better. I think that the actors are better. I thought the characters were even better.
Oh yeah.
No, definitely.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
there's
sure,
a
for
lot
sure.
more action.
I like the main character way more.
Like
Yeah.
like everything that's in the original Blade Runner is like shot for shot, but obviously they added stuff, so there's a lot more action, more violence.
There's a lot of like supernatural elements that were not in the first.
Yeah, there's some supernatural elements in it, and the visual effects are way better. Like, that was one of the things about the original Blade Runner, is like the aesthetic of it and the look of it.
Like they couldn't do it yet.
Well, this is something that I'm always talking about. I can't get into a movie unless the special effects are really good. Like, I can't even... I'll sit in the theater...
Like those blood effects, dude.
And I can't.
I'm the same way. I can't watch any movie that came out before 2009.
No. It was really Avatar. Like, I consider Avatar to be the peak of human culture.
I would say that's when cinema started.
It's also when people started to respect Native Americans for the first time.
Well, it wasn't
That's
until
true.
they were blue aliens that I really saw them as people.
It wasn't until I wanted to have sex with them
Yes.
that I saw them as people.
Yes. Well, and it wasn't until they were aliens that I wanted to have sex with them.
You also never want to have sex with Zoe Saldana unless she's any other color but black. Like,
That is actually
blue,
true.
green.
So let's get into it.
Obviously, yeah, we all really like it. Let's actually talk about the plot a little bit.
So- we
So,
like it a lot.
first impressions, we got this early screening. What did you guys think of it? I know, Kevin, you're a huge Ridley Scott fan. You've seen all of his films. What did you think of it?
Oh, well, I gotta say, this is easily the best movie I've seen all year. It's not even close. Like it leaves the rest just completely in the dust. I thought it was very dark.
The characters were much darker than the original.
One in particular is much darker.
The main character is much darker.
It's also a lot more violent than I remember the original being.
It's also more lighthearted, though, at the same time.
Yeah, it is. Like it's dark, but it's not without a sense of humor. I'd say.
Like the main character has like a cool side character who like doesn't take things too seriously.
Yeah, for
is
sure.
older than him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'd say, and which is funny because a movie like Blade Runner, the new one, is
Blade Runner
very
2049.
yeah, Blade Runner 2049 is very in right now. I think it might be perfect.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about like the trailers, like that his sidekick character is older than him. Like, people thought that's what Harrison Ford was going to be.
Yeah.
But then you saw the movie and it wasn't even Harrison Ford.
No,
he still
it's
kind of
it's
fills that
completely
role
different,
Yeah,
that
it's
you
a
kind of
similar-
expected him to fill in the trailer.
I want to commend this guy. He was a no-name actor. I'm pretty sure he's done nothing before this movie, but, he just came out of nowhere.
I think he made a song once.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like a composer or something.
Well, Ridley Scott loves casting unknown actors.
Yes. So anyway, Sam Slade, what did you think?
Well, I've never seen a Ridley Scott movie. It's the first one I've ever seen.
You've also never seen the original Blade Runner.
I haven't seen the original Blade Runner. But you guys saying this is shot-for-shot remake, I think I don't need to see the original one now.
No, you really don't.
Yeah, no.
If you have a copy of the original
sure.
Blade Runner, throw it in the garbage.
It's beautiful, and yeah, like Kevin said, the best movie that came out this year.
Brian, what did you have to?
Well, I've seen a few Ridley Scott movies, and Ridley Scott now has this like reputation of like putting the same themes in all of his movies. He's never really mastered it. He's never really done a perfect version of the story he's trying to tell until this movie came out. Because this new version of this Blade Runner 2049, it answers all those questions that he's been asking.
I might even be willing to go as far as this might replace the Bible in terms of like the answers that the questions it answers about life are the same type of questions that people look for in the Bible.
Well, it's all because of the main character.
Yes.
We can all follow behind him like a Christ-like figure.
I don't want to say religious, but like new religious themes are found in.
Neo-religion.
And if that phrase doesn't make sense to you, it'll all make sense once you see the movie.
Come October.
Oh, and I loved it.
I mean, I thought I had seen a movie this year. I hadn't.
Like you forgot all the other movies you saw?
More than Spider-Chan, more than that Denis Villeneuve movie, Alien Covenant.
And that World War II movie, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
way
that
better.
Better than that. Oh, that
Better
really
than that.
racist movie, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
That really violent Spider-Chan Homecoming.
Oh, we didn't ask the important question: is it racist?
No, this movie's actually anti-racism. It came out in a perfect time with the political climate.
Yes.
It's very
Amen.
anti-race. This movie makes Detroit look like Song of the South.
So let's kind of break it down. Let's give like a basic review. Like if you haven't seen, if you haven't seen it and you're excited to see it, this is going to be spoiler free, totally.
The opening is a flashback. I mean, it's pretty brief, so it's not like it's a full-fledged scene, but
It's definitely a
but
tone
that's-
setter, though.
for
and
sure.
it sets
It is
up
for
a really
sure.
important scene later on. The actual first scene is just the main character getting born, and you see how he came to be. And it doesn't show you so much that you know everything, but it just kind of sets up the tone.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
Sets it up just
when
enough.
that trailer came out, there was a lot of talk of like, is the main character going to be this?
Yeah.
Or are they going to be human? And this kind of like sets that up without answering that question.
It puts up a time
It
card.
sets it up really well.
And it says, in red letters, it says 1967.
Yeah.
And letting you know it's not 2049.
No. So yeah, the first scene happens, and you don't even see the main character, Johnny Blade Runner or whatever his name was.
His name's Blade Runner 2049.
Right.
Yeah, you don't see it.
You don't see him for at least 5 minutes, but then his entrance is legendary.
Yeah,
Of
so
the
it
movie.
flashes forward after this scene of the main character being born, and there's this guy
And
with
there's
a girl,
Yeah.
and she's taking him to like a place
What-
to get laid. Like
It-
they're out in the night.
It seems like a party is happening.
Yeah, they go to a party, and at first
Yeah.
it looks like a normal like punk rock party.
Like they're all dancing. It's like a rave.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
then it
rave.
gets really dark, you know. In Blade Runner, you know that it's like humans against replicants.
Yes.
And then you watch this movie, and the opening scene is, you know, the main character versus what you kind of expect going into this movie. So this guy thinks he's going to get lucky, and the party starts taking a really dark turn. Finds out that the people at this party aren't what he thought they were going to be.
No. It's
Blood starts squirting from the
it's
ceiling.
really it's almost biblical. Like blood starts raining from the ceiling, and
It's
he,
crazy.
He thinks they got his number, though. He thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
And he tries running away. He trips on the floor.
He's crawling for his life. He thinks he's about to die
They
because
start hissing at him.
all these, vampires are around him.
Yeah.
And then as he's crawling, he sees the heroic and almighty foot of Blade. And the camera pans up, and we see Blade.
Our
We
hero.
see Blade.
The protagonist.
in all
Blade.
leather glory.
Yeah, and he just starts just murdering
Mowing
shit.
massacres
people
them.
down.
It is one of the best scenes in human history.
It's incredible.
It is the best action scene this year.
It easily. Remember that part when he shoots the guy and the guy comes up from behind him and he goes like that without even looking at him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best.
He
Remember
just
how
knew
his
he was
shotgun
there.
shot silver spikes at people?
And it like
it
set them flying
impales
against-
them, and
Yeah.
Remember how he had a samurai sword?
Yep. He just has a blade.
Yeah, he has a blade for his blade killing.
Yep.
And
And he kills real well.
Yes,
and,
he kills all those
he
vampires.
knocked at least 2 or 3 people into the hanging lights. He did that a
Yeah,
lot.
he did like that like 2 or 3 times at
It was
least.
that awesome effect where, like, every time he killed the vampire, they would turn into dust or whatever.
Well, and this is what I was talking about with special effects. I the movie
Amazing.
was made for me
Yeah.
because of how well the special effects were done.
Not since James Cameron's Avatar.
I had to Google it afterwards. What if Blade Runner, if they actually killed any real vampires on set because it looked too real for me.
It
they
did.
did.
It did. We had a whole cannibal holocaust situation.
Yeah.
on our
Yeah.
hands.
A lot of vampires went missing.
We had a whole Twilight Zone situation on our hands.
Oh boy,
Too
A
soon.
lot of vampire children got killed by a helicopter.
John Landis. I told you they were vampires.
John Landis thought the kids were vampires. Killed them with a helicopter.
He grabbed that kid and threw him right up into the helicopter. Take that!
he went.
You won't get another one.
Say, hey kid, listen up.
Oh my god.
Steven Spielberg was like, they were, not only were they not vampires, but
You're under arrest.
You're under arrest, John Landis.
You won't get my son. He'll become something great one day.
Oh. Oh, well, he didn't. And so Blade starts killing people.
Blade,
he starts shooting
he's
them with the shotgun.
massacring these
Cutting them up.
vampires. And Blade doesn't even break a sweat. He's killing these guys.
He's having a good time.
He's
He's
wearing
smooth the
He's
whole
wearing
time.
his sunglasses.
His leather jacket
it's really
stays
dark.
smooth the entire time. No marks at all.
If there's something I want to say that this movie does really well, is it really shows how good of a person and fighter that Blade is.
He's the greatest fighter in all of the Blade Runner universe.
Like, Blade demolishes them without even the vampires even posing a threat to him.
But the thing is, like, Blade is great at killing, but he wants to have a great time killing.
and
so
that's
he's
really apparent at the end of the fight.
Yeah, at the end of the fight, he does something that really defines his character for the entire movie.
Yeah, before he has a single line of dialogue, right? He goes to like the main vampire guy,
Yeah.
and he pins him to the wall with those spikes we were talking about.
And he gives him
one of these.
Yeah, he gives him. That's the first scene in the movie, and let me tell you, it only gets better from there.
Honest, like, there's so many great characters. Whistler.
Frost, the villain,
Frost,
is very, very
Frost.
good.
Deacon Frost.
Deacon Frost. One of the coolest
The man
names
who
I've
bit
ever
his
heard.
mother.
Like a brief spoiler segment, just talk about our favorite stuff.
Favorite
for the people,
stuff,
like,
yeah.
Just for the people that have seen it already.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, what's your favorite part of the movie?
Well, actually, the following scene. It's when he goes to follow the vampire he didn't kill, and the cops show up and they shoot at Blade, and but he has a bulletproof armor, so they don't kill him, and he says,
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
and it is awesome.
It is awesome.
Because they are out of their damn mind. They are. He called it.
That's a line of dialogue that's going to be quoted forever.
Yeah, I love that whole scene. He throws her across an entire building, and she only dislocates her arm, which he immediately relocates.
Well, because Blade's the doctor.
Yes.
Well, Sam, say what are some of your favorite parts of the movie?
Well, I got one that stands out a lot. There's a really tense scene. Blade is out in broad daylight with one of the vampires,
Deacon Frost.
and he has this Asian girl, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm gonna kill this Asian girl, Blade, if you don't." Basically, I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but basically, he at the end of the scene throws the Asian girl through a cart. I was so invested in that scene. I was so just like, "Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? What's Blade gonna do?" And then the unexpected happens. He throws her through a cart into the street. Blade still saves her.
Blade
though.
still saves
He
her.
still
She's
grabs her.
okay.
Yeah, she's totally fine. It was awesome.
Brian, what are some of your favorite parts?
Easily, my favorite part is where Frost, like Frost turned his mom into a vampire, and then they do a crazy ritual with Blade, so Frost can be like the super vampire. And Blade has a sword, and he fucking cuts Frost in half. And for whatever reason, Frost's torso flies like 8 feet in the air. Even though he cut him in half, his torso flies
Well,
in
Blade's
the air.
very strong.
Yeah, he cuts him in half so hard that he flies in the air, and then his blood connects him back together, and it pulls him back together.
It's one of the
It's
coolest
the
things
fucking
ever.
sweetest thing. I've never
We all simultaneously came.
Yes.
come so hard.
I have never seen so much human cum in my life. But one of the coolest parts of the entire movie is Blade has this syringe that, this juice that kills vampires. It makes them explode.
Like in a
the
really
blood.
violent way.
Like they just pop when they get
Like
injected
Big
with
Trouble
it.
in Little China.
Yeah, like Big Trouble in Little China. And Blade has a whole case of them, and he's throwing them. And then Frost lodges them up into a rock. Blade never loses his cool. He throws his sword up into the rocks, and it explodes, which is set up earlier because the movie's very cleverly written. It goes like, pshink, and it falls, and like he catches the syringe, and
behind
then
his
he
back.
says,
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Which is true. They're always trying to do that.
he kicks it.
Like
it's
he
into-
roundhouse kicks it
Yeah.
into his brain.
right in the forehead. My final verdict is, I would say that it's not only a perfect movie, but it might be the perfect life experience. Like, some people will list, like, seeing their firstborn child for the first time, or like the first time they touch a woman's boob. Like, those might be life-changing experiences to some people. But this trumps all of that. Like, it's just a perfect experience. So I would say it's a perfect 5 billion blades out of 5 billion blade blades.
It's our first perfect blade points.
Yep.
Score.
Yep. Brian, what did you think of the film?
Well, this is definitely the best movie of the year. Potentially the best movie of the decade. Certainly in the running for best movie of August. It is exciting. It's sexy. It's dangerous. I would say if you have trouble getting your girlfriend to orgasm, take her to see Blade.
Oh, definitely.
I guarantee you, she's not going to have
stick
it.
to her seat.
Yeah, she's not. You're going to have to peel her off with a snow shovel.
So bring your snow shovel, kids.
Brian, your rating.
Oh, my rating?
Yeah, the most important part.
It definitely gets like a yellow.
Yeah. I would agree.
That's fair.
It is possibly the greatest movie ever.
And you haven't seen that many.
I have not seen that many, but I know none of them will top this experience. And like we said earlier, it is the new religion.
Yeah.
This is still early, but I'm assuming people will go to church. My rating, I would say it's if you have a glass, it's just a full glass
Yes.
of Blade.
The glass is all full.
That is a full glass.
Kevin?
I gotta say, in the history of this channel, I've never watched a better movie. It's definitely the best movie of this year, and definitely in the running for the best movie of all time. I think it has no flaws. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Hey, careful. That's diecast too.
What is that? What is diecast? You keep saying that. What is that?
It's a phrase John Landis coined when he killed those kids on the Twilight Zone movie.